Hello all and welcome to Movie Bears Podcast TV. Oh my goodness, it has been a long time. We've taken a bit of a hiatus during the summer while everything's been in freaking reruns, but I'm very excited to welcome back my wonderful co-hosts. Casey Scott, welcome back.
Hi, thank you for having me back. It's so good to be back with y'all.
It's great to have you with your awesome posters and hunky muscle shirts.
And my very pale iris skin.
But your face is blushing, so that's cute.
Yeah, thank you.
And of course we have the co-host formerly known as Stephen Konchelik, who during the summer hiatus has made things excited by getting hitched. I would now love to introduce you to Stephen Heslin. Did I pronounce that right? Heslin?
Yeah, it's either Heslin or Heslin, either way. We were actually having that discussion the other night of, since it's one S, is it Hez or Hess? But we usually say Heslin. But yeah, I even though we've been married for a little while, it's I finally took my husband's name, and it's been quite an interesting experience. It's been wonderful, but frustrating at the same time.
I imagine there's a lot of logistics involved in officially changing the name, right? So
yeah, I mean the actual changing on the driver's license and social security card, that stuff was easy. It's more of like just at work, people going like, wait, why'd you change your name? I don't understand. And it's like, well, we're married. Lots of married couples do that, and then there's also the just certain like. I've been waiting for my there's always just these little accounts. Today I had to deal with AT&T, and they're like, they just didn't understand changing my name. And I'm like, and finally at the end of the call I figured out I could have done it myself on their website. I was like, curses.
Curse you, AT&T. Yeah. Crazy. Well, it is absolutely awesome that you've changed your name. I think that's so cool that we can do that in our society.
Exactly. It's been
awesome.
A wonderful thing.
That's great. Well, glad to hear it. Well, we have a fun show for you guys tonight. We're going to be reviewing the fall premiere episodes of a couple of brand new shows. Red Band Society on Fox and a new show called Transparent. Is that an Amazon original show?
It is.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I wondered, because there were boobies when I watched it.
Yeah.
And I was like, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, they're trying to do the Netflix and Hulu thing and do original content.
Yeah.
Apparently. I'm going to start calling it, like, Boobazon Prime. Anyway, bad jokes aside. So, Stephen, I wanted to circle back to something we were talking about before the show because it was super cute. So, I have really been excited lately. I got my new iPhone 6. Yay, and I'm loving it. But you got the 6 Plus. That thing was like a monster. You downgraded, is that right?
I did downgrade over the weekend. I found a wonderful Apple representative that was willing to help me downgrade, even though they weren't supposed to have any stock in back. But I got it, and I was saying that for the first time ever, I said that there was something that was too big for me. It was too big for my hand. I know this is just going pun after pun, but it's true. I actually got hand cramps trying to hold it to my face. I'm just realizing if you took this segment out of context, this is just really bad. But yeah, it was a beautiful screen. It's a beautiful piece of technology, but in actual practical use for me, I couldn't. It just ended up being too big, so I had to downsize it. And the 6, just the regular 6, is perfect. It's such a beautiful, amazing phone. I love that phone.
Absolutely, and I actually watched Transparent today on my phone, so it is relevant. Wow. Yeah, and like I used to have Netflix and Amazon and Hulu and all that stuff on my 5S, but I deleted them because I'm like, I really just don't like watching stuff. The screen is just too small. Yeah. The iPad's nice, but it's so big. It's like, what's a Goldilocks to do? But it's kind of just right now. So I actually enjoyed being able to just watch some TV on the fly while I was out and about today. So anyway, blah 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 iPhone, people are like, shut the fuck up. We don't want to
know.
Yeah, I'm a broke ass bitch. I have my iPhone 4, and it's not even a 4S. So
we need to do is start a fun Casey campaign and
yeah.
get you
That's
started.
right.
Right now, I'm not due for an upgrade until like the spring. So
Oh, jeez.
so I'm fine with my 4.
You'll love it when you upgrade. It'll be such a jump for you.
Definitely.
It will be. Yeah, I mean, right now I'm like deleting apps from my phone when I'm not using them to save on space. Damn.
Wow.
I'm one of those.
You know what? I have been there. So hopefully you'll have the joy soon. But
yeah, I'd love to watch something on a nice screen on my phone. Yeah.
I love that Amazon and Hulu and Netflix and everything. I mean, that they've got everything available for streaming so handily these days.
Right.
Makes it really easy. And so, sort of segueing in, we are doing a new segment this week with this fall premiere of MBP TV. Can you believe it's been like a year, guys? I know we took a couple month hiatus, but we've been doing this show for a while. Have really missed it. I'm glad we're back. But we're kicking things off with a little segment we're test calling Me TV, and basically, since it's sort of impossible to agree on like so many shows, like getting all of us to watch the same shows all at the same time is crazy. So I thought maybe we would spend a little time just kind of talking about what we have been watching over the last couple months, what we're excited about, what's going on. Steven, maybe you can kick us off. What's something you've really been enjoying lately?
One thing, over the summer, it was sort of catch up for me. I was, going back and looking at some shows that, I needed to catch up on. And one of them that, there's posters for the upcoming season. I thought, what, I kind of want to check it out because I've heard a lot of buzz is Blacklist.
Oh, yeah.
And, I hadn't ever watched that show, and I'd heard lots of good things, and so I started watching that. And I got hooked immediately. That's on Netflix, and at least the first season. Well, the second season is just starting, I think, this week. But
tonight, yeah, it starts tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I wouldn't say it's a fantastic show. I'm really addicted to it, and I think there's lots of great hooks that keep you going to the next episode. And James Spader's character, he plays it so well. He's such a great actor in that show. I just love watching him. But I would say a lot of the supporting cast, horrible. And also sort of the premise of the show, I felt like I got it right away, but they kept on teasing like, oh, you don't know what, is going on. Like, what's the relationship between these two people? And it's kind of like I got it right away. But but yeah, it's really well done. It's got lots of action and keeps the pace moving, and it's a procedural show, but it has an overarching story, so it keeps you going. It has these cliffhangers that keep you going to the next episode, but then has a little mini procedural thing, per episode. So I'd say it was really addicting. I'm only, I think, 6 or 7 episodes in, and I could watch 3 in a row.
Nice. I do love James Spader. I watched the first couple episodes with Jim several months ago, and there's just so much to watch. It fell off the radar, but we totally need to circle back. I saw a commercial today, in fact, for the new season. And I'm like, oh, right, Blacklist, I forgot.
Right.
So,
it's really good. I've been watching it, catching up with my parents, too, and I think we're 13 episodes in. And no spoilers, but if you're only 6 or 7 episodes in, then you're wrong about what you think their relationship is.
Oh, good. I'm glad because if it were what I think it is, I would be pissed because I'm like, that's so obvious.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so now you have something more to look forward to.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Nice.
There are lots of really good twists and turns, yeah.
Good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so potential spoilers. Steven, I'm only going to ask through what you have... Well, okay, through what I've seen, 2 episodes. My thought was that he's her father.
That's what I thought.
What you were thinking? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
And so, Casey, you're telling us that that's what they're leading us to believe, but they're going to swing a different direction?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Exciting. Because I too was like, really?
I know. Like
Yeah,
nobody's
no.
guessing that that's her like her phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, it takes some I won't say any more. I'll just say it takes a lot of really interesting turns.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very good. Well, how about you, Mr. Casey Scott, Hot Muscle Shirt? What are you watching right
Lord.
now?
What am I watching right now? Well, I'm watching two shows right now, and I'll keep it brief for both. The first started last year, and it's a show called Please Like Me, and it shows on this new network called Pivot, which I don't think a lot of people know if they have it or not.
Yeah,
and so I don't know if this show is getting the audience that it should have. It's a co-production between Pivot and Australian Television, and it's this really funny comedy by this kid, Josh Thomas, who's like 23 or 24 or something. He's kind of like the gay male Lena Dunham, where he's like this wunderkind who has written and created this show, but it's not irritating like Girls. Like he has really characters. He has a great relationship with his parents, and so the first episode, his girlfriend breaks up with him because she says you're gay, and so he kind of, it's a situation where everyone knows he's gay except for him. So the first season follows his sort of figuring out that he is gay and his experiences with that. And the second season, that's still going on now, sort of continues down that path and his relationship with his best friend, and it's really good, really funny. And I don't think it's over yet. I think, well, the finale might have aired Friday night. It's only like 6 or 7 episodes per season, so it's
What's
very
it called
brief.
again?
Oh, wow.
It's called Please Like Me.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually Entertainment Weekly pointed me in that direction. They raved about it. And so I said, okay, I'll watch this. And another show that I'm glad I gave time because I did not like the first episode was Outlander, which is on Starz, which is based on a series of books about a former nurse in World War II Britain who goes to Scotland with her husband and is sort of magically transported back to 1700 Scotland in the middle of this battle between Scotland and England. And it's sort of like, it reminds me a lot of Game of Thrones, but without any magic or anything. It's very, it has nudity and violence and everything. It's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going on now, too. I think there's only been 6 or 7 episodes.
Brad has been suddenly transported to Outlander land.
I have been. I totally have been. You may call me Your Grace.
I wonder what that was. I saw a little thing, and I was like, yeah. So Outlander, I highly recommend, and Please Give. My preference is for Please Give because I think it's really funny and sweet, and yeah. Both are good.
I only knew Outlander because I saw these I think Time Warner cable commercials of these people on like horses, and the guy like comes out in the middle of them on an iPad watching something, and it's a really funny commercial. But I was like, they're like, watch more Outlander. I'm like, what the hell is Outlander? I've never even heard of this show.
Right.
And then I realized it hadn't even aired yet when they started these commercials.
Oh, okay.
So they were banking on selling this commercial that hadn't for a show that hadn't even aired yet.
Right.
Wow.
And it's on Starz too, which isn't exactly known for its pedigree. I think it's 2 big shows before this were Spartacus and Crash.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is, it's another period piece like Spartacus. So, and I know a lot of women who have read the books, the Outlander books. It's a series of books. So, it's kind of like a more grown-up version of those like those romance novels that are set in the past of like a woman torn between this rough and tumble guy and but there are some hot bearded Scottish daddies on the show too, which definitely helps.
Damn, I'm down.
Yeah,
and
why
they
did you
don't
say lead with that?
And they don't wear anything under their kilts, obviously.
Wow, way to bury the lead, Casey.
But it's it airs on Sunday nights. Actually, I missed last night, so I'm going to watch that tomorrow. But yeah, it's a show. It has some of the most graphic gore I've seen, more disturbing than Game of Thrones because it's usually involving like surgery and stuff and more realistic injuries. But yeah, Outlander,
Nice.
Please Like Me. Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh,
good
good
stuff.
pick.
We'll definitely have to check those out when I get through like 25 other shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
The
luckily,
list-
Please Like Me is very easily digestible. You can watch all 6 episodes in like 3 hours. So
that's pretty easy. Maybe I'll have to move it farther up the list.
Yeah,
So.
that's a great one.
Well, let's see. For me, I have had a first this summer, guys. I had one of my virginities broken.
Oh goodness!
And of course, I'm speaking of Big Brother.
Oh no!
I know. I had never watched the show before.
Neither have I.
But Jim's daughter is really into it, and so we decided, that this summer we were going to get together, one night a week. It's on like 5 nights a week or something crazy. Well, it's really like 3.
That's still a lot.
It's still a lot.
TV.
It's like really cheap. It's really cheap programming for CBS too, because they just set up the cameras and let them roll.
Yeah, definitely.
Great cheap summer programming. Yeah.
But like I had always seen ads for it. I'm like, oh, that looks like the worst stuff. Reality TV could throw at us, and I still pretty much think that. But it has been kind of interesting to kind of watch these crazy frickin' people over the summer. Obviously, CBS is handpicking them to be like, just I don't know, the worst things about reality TV. But it's been kind of interesting. Julie Chen is the host, and she's on one of their morning shows, and I swear I think she's a robot. Like I really, like she's like a robot that can float across the ground. Like she's wearing these 25-inch heels, but she just like floats across the screen.
Isn't she also on one of those like talk shows? Also,
she's on the Talk, the Sarah Gilbert.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she's married to Les Moonves, I think. Still,
she is.
I think so. She's guaranteed to for life.
Every episode, I swear, like every episode, she's all like, "Oh, and my husband, Les Moonves, head of CBS."
Wow, she has to name drop.
Yes.
She totally does. I'm like,
she has to name drop why she got the job. It's contractual obligation. She has to say.
I guess. So yeah, Big Brother. Been watching that. It's almost over. No, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tuesday. My days are all mixed up, guys. My weekends are Mondays and Tuesdays now with this new schedule, so it's thrown my world away. But, I'll take the promotion that it comes with. That's fine. But so now I'm just kind of like, crap. But yeah, so anyway, Wednesday is the finale of Big Brother and the premiere of Survivor, which I'm really looking forward to.
Oh, yeah. Which we'll have to talk about next week, I think.
Yeah, totally. Blood versus Gotham.
Yes, Gotham is tonight too. Yeah.
Yep. Can't wait for that. But outside of that, Doctor Who came back about a month ago. Really enjoyed the first couple episodes. Episode 3 was about Robin Hood. I got 10 minutes into the episode and stopped watching for 2 weeks.
Oh,
it was so dumb.
I've heard really bad things about this season.
Yeah. So I went back over my weekend, and I finished the episode. It was meh. I've got like another episode in my DVR, but I'm telling you, as much as I love Doctor Who, I'm just not digging this season that much, which is disappointing. There's a new actor playing the Doctor. He's okay. I think he's still trying to find his legs. That's typical. But anyway, blah, blah, blah. And then I have something that may surprise you guys. Are you ready for a ground-shaking announcement?
I'm braced.
Are you like in your seats, just ready? Here we go. Ready? Drum roll.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that was an actual drum roll.
What?
Thank you, Google Effects.
I was like, you have a drummer in your room.
So
we have a band on the show now.
So I've gone back and I've started watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. again.
Oh, no.
Oh, hello.
I know. Oh, God.
So I may have mentioned before we took our summer hiatus that I would circle back once it was available to binge watch. I've watched, I think, 2 more episodes at this point since I started going back. And the first one I watched was pretty much,
terrible.
Yeah, it was bad. But then the next one I watched was the one about the girl in the flower dress and the dude that could like shoot fire from his hands.
Yeah.
And that one was actually pretty interesting. I really liked a lot of the stuff in that episode. I think it sets some things up, in terms of like an enemy organization or something that will play more into the season. I guess that's what it seems to be telling.
the show gets really interesting. I think the last 8 episodes, when they finally found their footing and finally found out where they fit in the Marvel universe, and they basically started tying into the Winter Soldier movie.
Nice.
And you could see lots of correlations going on between the universe and the show. But until they found that footing, the show was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I think that the show should be able to stand on its own legs without having to tie into other Marvel
I totally
crap.
agree, but I mean, I will say
otherwise it's just like it's ridiculous. It kind of reminds me of like the Chocobot hour on The Simpsons, where like it's all tied into all this other corporate crap that's going on in movies and in other forms of pop culture. It's just like just do a good show. Like,
I agree. No, I totally agree with you.
Independent of Marvel, like pretend that other Marvel shit doesn't exist. Just do a good show.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see where it goes.
Stand on its own.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes. I know that the season 2 premiere was tomorrow night. I don't know. It's this week.
I saw September 23rd, so it's tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. That's right.
I'm looking at the schedules for this month. Yeah.
Right. So
I have to make sure I'm on top of everything.
You do like to be on top, I hear. So anyway.
Where's the drum roll?
Oh, here we go. Laugh track.
Do you have an ooh? Do you have that sound effect?
An ooh? No, I don't have.
Yeah, like when like somebody kisses somebody on the show, the audience goes like ooh.
Oh, I don't have that. I'm so bummed we don't have it. I'm sorry.
That makes up for it. Oh my god.
Oh, anyway. So yeah, I'll watch a couple more, episodes and keep slogging through. I did hear a lot over the summer that it got way better. So I'm just letting you know I'm keeping my promise. I'm a man of my word, guys. I'm going back, checking it out. So. All right. Well, any other shows you guys are checking out?
Yes, but I want to save it for the plug section.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say one other show really quickly that I did check out that I have to recommend just because it's near and dear to my heart is American Ninja Warrior, which is a terrible show if you really think about it because it's repetitive and it's the same people doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. But what they are doing is physically amazing, and I think it's fascinating to watch because on top of it, you'll see these veterans that I've watched year after year, and they won't make it past the first round. It really is. It's not guaranteed that they're just going to make it through. And I always just am amazed at what they can do. So I will have to say I did watch a lot of that over the summer.
Nice. Summer is great for that kind of like popcorny sort of TV, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, well, guys, what do you say to getting into our reviews for this week?
Yes.
Sure.
Can't wait. I
do
have
it.
so
All
many
right.
notes to get through.
Oh my God. Right. All right, well, here we go. We will start off with our discussion of Episode 1 of Red Band Society. Oh goodness! For those of you who are not watching live, you just missed out on our MBP TV dance party. So
yeah, walk like an Egyptian dance party.
Right.
Walk like an Egyptian.
Yeah, screw the theme song to Red Band Society. We had music in our heads that we were dancing to.
So go back and check out the YouTube video, and you can see our MBP TV dance party. Okay, so Red Band Society. Casey Scott, this was one that you had mentioned as being something we should check out. Why don't you kind of give us a little bit of a premise of this show and kind of your thoughts?
Sure. Yeah, I suggested it because every year I always look forward to my Entertainment Weekly Fall TV preview because it lets me know what is coming out. It makes me schedule my September and October accordingly because I love TV that much. And it also lists the shows to watch, and I always trust the EW critics generally. Them and the AV Club are the people that I go to most. So they said this was one of the 6 shows to watch. So I said, oh, okay. I mean, it has Octavia Spencer, You know, that's a plus. I like her a lot. So the show is basically it explores the life of a group of teenagers who are living in a hospital, and so they're part of this red band society, which is never said in the show, but they're all in there for various illnesses, and Octavia Spencer is the head nurse who takes care of all of them. She's like the den mother, and then there's a hot doctor who's way too skinny, who's like the father figure. But then Griffin Dunn is great in it as a very wealthy patron of the hospital who lives in his own wing and supplies pot to the teenagers. Yeah, I think it's a basic enough premise. Basically, the pilot introduces a new character into this group. This teen who has cancer in his leg, and so he has to have his leg removed. And so he bonds with another cancer patient who had the same procedure. And then there are two girls and another kid. Yeah, it's a very diverse, interesting group of kids. But the one thing I didn't like about the pilot was that it sort of sets up this sort of like romantic triangle and these romantic things, and it reminds me of Glee all over again. I'm just like, I don't like that.
You want to know something horrible?
Teen romance is so horribly dealt with on TV. Like My So-Called Life was like one of the only shows that actually kind of dealt with that really well. But it's just so cheesy.
This show is like Glee, but instead of singing, there's
it reminded me a lot of Glee. It has a similar visual style to it. The characters are all archetypes for the most part. I didn't think Octavia Spencer was particularly good in it. She kind of plays her maid from The Help, which, I think she has a type, and I think they said we need an Octavia Spencer type, and then she became available. And so I said, oh, great, let's get Octavia Spencer to play this bitchy nurse with a heart of gold. So, but, I will admit that there is some really good emotional stuff in the show. Like by the, in the last 10 minutes, I was getting misty-eyed. I thought, and there's very good music selection on the show, which definitely helps too. I wouldn't say it's one of the 6. Well, I can't say this because I haven't seen all the new shows of the season. But if this is one of the 6 best shows of the season, then I'm not that excited about the rest of the season because I thought the show was good, but I didn't think it was an incredible revelation. It wasn't like Masters of Sex when that premiere came out, and I was like, oh my god, the show's great, I can't wait to keep watching. With this, I definitely feel like I will keep watching, but it's not appointment TV. Like, there are shows that I will watch live. This is not one of those. This is like on demand 2 days later.
Okay. All right. That's fair. Steven, what about you? Did it press any of your buttons?
Only the off button. No.
Oh, you liked it less than me. Yeah, where's that sound effect?
No, I really didn't like this show, and my first thought about 10 minutes into this show was, oh my god, I must be so old. I am just not connecting with any of these characters. I mean, they're all, teenagers, but, I don't think, even if I was a teenager, the teenager that I remember wouldn't connect with any of these characters. And they are archetypes. And I think, Casey, you said everything very perfectly. A lot of what I was thinking, they're all archetypes, and it had a very Glee feel. Even the cheerleader was the bitchy cheerleader, and it's just, everything was over the top. And, even the camera movements in the very beginning of the show, the first, 15 minutes, it's like a first-time director got to borrow a super techno crane with a gimbal head. Like, all these shots were just flowing all over the place, and it's like, you don't need to do that to have production value. You don't need to, have the camera fly all over. And the characters, there's a bitchy cheerleader, the scary, even the nurse was scary bitch, and there was the hot doctor, and I just didn't really like anyone, in the first half hour, and the whole freeze frame with the, their name, introducing them was just too much. There was just too much information. I wasn't connecting with anyone. I will say that it mellowed out towards the end of the show, and I agree with you. I felt the same thing towards the end of the show. I started liking it a little bit, and there were scenes that sort of really pulled at the heartstrings, and you're like, even though if you didn't like it, you kind of had to weep a little. So they did some stuff right, and I feel like, did either of you read or see the movie The Fault in Our Stars?
No,
that was the one. That was the one with kids with ass cancer, right?
Exactly. or lung cancer, whatever.
The one word review. Oh, you forgot to say the kids with ass cancer falling in love. That's
exactly.
Right.
That sums up the whole movie.
Yeah. So it's I feel like this is a response to the popularity of that book, because it's kids being sick and maybe terminal, and one's in a coma and he's narrating. It's like I just kind of feel like, wow, kids being sick was popular. Let's make a show around that. But I feel like if it weren't done so over the top, it could have been a really good show. I don't think I'm gonna watch another episode unless we have to. I mean, it's
the sounds of it, I don't think we're gonna have to.
But
unless Brad insists.
Yeah, but I think that the idea of kids, because there are children's hospitals where this stuff actually happens, and I think if they had treated it with much more of a realism, it could have been an amazing show. But they did this Glee effect to it, and it was kind of over the top, and like boom, 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 and I couldn't get into it,
Right.
So
and another issue with, that's the thing. I think that this is something that is common and reoccurring in TV now, is that, at least broadcast TV now, is that your pilot is really kind of supposed to set the tone for the rest of your show, and so this was the moment to kind of take a few more risks and be a little edgier, and it's kind of edgy. The show introduces two of the characters to the teens as they're smoking pot in a janitor's closet. Basically.
Yeah, there were.
So that's kind of edgy, but it's just kind of, it was very pat, and a lot of the dialogue was just kind of like very Saved by the Bell kind of.
Yeah.
Not very bright.
Yeah.
I'll be nice that way.
So Casey kind of liked it.
Yeah.
Steven did not like it. Gosh, I think I'm in the middle-ish. So yeah. All right. So spoiler warning. We may get into particulars of the plot for this. I probably should have said that up front. Sorry, guys. Whatever. Whatever. But okay. So I have to say the high point for me was Octavia Spencer.
Okay.
That's not saying a lot because she wasn't great. I agree. But I do like her a lot. I like her snark. So I was like, okay, that's cool. I can dig that. But I typically hate teenagers as a rule.
That's a good rule. I hate them too.
It's one of the reasons that Glee really soured for me a lot. God. I got tired of that, it wasn't even like teen drama. I mean, there was drama, but it wasn't like good drama. No. It was like cheese drama, soap opera with songs. And I feel like this is cheese, soap opera, drama with, mystical comas and unbelief. I don't know. Yeah. So Octavia Spencer's character must make a lot of money because she can afford 48 pizzas to just randomly have
I know. What was that?
Okay. I was like, bitch, are you kidding me? There's no way you could afford that. Griffin Dunn could have afforded it.
And how did she know to send all the different pizzas, to maybe try the different scents to wake him up,
Right.
That's true.
Crazy. I just felt like a lot of the characters were really vapid here. I've said before, if I can't really connect with a character emotionally, then it's hard for me to sort of get into it. And I don't think there was a single character that I was really like, oh, wow, I feel bad, he's so sick. The bitchy cheerleader, I feel like she was Madison from Coven last year.
Yeah. Exactly.
Character on TV. We're done with
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this a Ryan Murphy show? Like, I'm getting
It felt
Glee
like
vibe, you know? Yeah, exactly. And then
Yeah.
of course we have the weird, you know, chick that is mirroring the girl from Breakfast Club, the dark-haired girl with the weird, you know.
Yeah, who apparently doesn't eat.
Apparently, whatever.
I don't know why you need to be in a hospital for that. I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't really
long
make sense.
term. Yeah, exactly. She needs to be in a psychiatric facility, not that other kind of facility.
Yeah. Plus, you know, the dude with no leg or whatever, like, gave out his red bands, and what does she do right away? She fucking loses it.
Because he's a dumb shit. Because he's not eating.
It's like, you idiot! Like, and then she's all like, I lost my red band. And then, like, the main character dude is like, that's okay, I'm sure we'll find you another one. Foreshadowing.
Right.
So,
I did love him
anyway,
running through the hospital, though. I thought
that was the moment.
Yeah.
That was the moment.
That was the really good sequence that made me misty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, I have a heart of stone because I did not get weepy. I did not get weepy at all. I rolled my eyes.
Music usually helps with that. Yeah, who hurt you? Who made you run around a hospital so that you didn't...
I don't want to talk about it.
No, you know, music is very important to that kind of stuff with me, and so the music choice for that scene was really good.
Which I agree, the music definitely helped with the heartstring stuff, but I will also say music can be a crutch, and I feel like when it's bad TV, they'll use really good music to try and cover up their bad, because you're going to connect with the music.
Right, absolutely. But I will say, I kind of liked the dad character, like playing guitar and singing to.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't see that.
From American Pie.
Yeah.
I didn't see it coming, is what I mean. I didn't predict it.
Yeah. I didn't either. So I was like, oh wow, cool, that's interesting.
Yeah.
How the dumb bitchy cheerleader figured that out, I don't know. Give her credit for. But the whole thing with the coma thing is interesting. So apparently, what does this kid have some kind of magical power to connect with people in his mind when they're under anesthesia?
I think it's just a weird show thing. I actually kind of liked the premise as a way of having some narration, and you know, like it was interesting, but at the same time, it sort of took you out of the realism again, you know, and it made it this hyper realism.
Right. I think it's a cool dynamic. I think if they were to do something with it all season, like he keeps showing up in their dreams or something, that would be neat. Yeah. But I'm just wondering, like, is he going to wake up and then be one of the main? You know, I don't know. Hard. I'm
never going to find out.
We'll never answer that.
And I don't even know what the ratings were like. So I don't even know if it was well received by anybody except for this EW critic. I really don't know. I was not moved enough to check out to see if it was going to continue. Yeah.
It's I don't know. I don't know, man. I would probably give it another couple episodes just to see where it goes. I don't think I'm in the, you know, like, I super hate it camp yet. But I think I agree with you, Casey. I wouldn't be rushing out to watch this like the night that it's on. I might, you know, let it DVR for a few weeks and then check out a couple episodes and see. But we got too many other good shows coming up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
Yeah, so.
Well, see, because I wanted to flip to see what comes on the same time as it. Well, nothing really. But yeah, I mean, at this point, nothing. But
yeah.
Are you reading an actual physical magazine?
I have it by
me. Holding.
I have my Entertainment Weekly Fall TV preview. And,
nice.
I was checking the schedule to see what it's up against. It's up against Modern Family, which is a juggernaut at this point, regardless of if it's good or not.
Yeah.
Right.
And a few other things. But Survivor and Arrow are on that night too.
Oh, not even competition.
Both of those are kind of great.
Indeed. All right. Well, that's Red Band Society for you. Do we have anything else to say on this subject?
I think we should move on.
No.
All right.
I think we should be like that leg and chop it off, you know.
All right. Here we go. Switching gears to our discussion of transparent. All right, so here we go. Just to give you sort of an upfront warning. See, it's been a while. I forgot to do this for our discussion of Red Band Society, but didn't really matter. But we will probably be spoiling the crap out of the plot of episode 1 of Transparent. So if you've not seen the show, you may want to go check it out and then come back, or feel free to stay and listen if you don't care about checking out the show. Whatever, it's up to you. But Steven, tell us a little bit about what Transparent is and what you thought of episode 1.
So Transparent, as we said, is an Amazon original, and what Amazon has been doing is sort of making these pilots, and from what I understand, they put the pilots out, see how people receive them, and then depending on how well they're received, they'll make the rest of the series or an order and then release them all at the same time. Amazon was releasing stuff staggered, but I think in response to stuff like Netflix, I've heard that they're going to start doing, binge watching where they'll allow to release it all at the same time. But Transparent did pretty well, and so they are making the rest of the episodes. I think 6 more episodes that I saw on IMDb. But the premise of the show is there's a family in Los Angeles. There's 2 daughters and a son, and they've got these parents. One of them is Jeffrey Tambor. One of them is Judith Light from Who's the Boss, and they're divorced. They're just sort of a dysfunctional family. It's not necessarily. There's no real major plot twist except for the fact that as you go through the first episode, you're learning that there's something different about Jeffrey Tambor and something he's struggling with. And at the very end of the episode, or about halfway through, you discover what that is. And based on the title, I think everyone knows what that is. He's transitioning to become a woman. And so the first episode sort of is introducing you to the characters and how the family dynamics work, and some weird, Luzzy action here and there, and but my thoughts on the show are, this is my kind of show. This is much more my pace. This is much more people that I feel like I can identify with, even though I can't really identify with any of these characters. I feel like I connect with them a little bit more. I think I also connect with the location. It's shot in Los Angeles. I recognize a lot of the locations. They're sort of LA people. One of them, I think, is working on a TV show and stuff like that. And they're all sort of vapid and self-absorbed, and I totally get that. It was just, they were really interesting, rich characters. There were multiple layers to the characters. The family dynamics were kind of fucked up, which I totally identify with. And I just thought it was written really well. The dialogue was really interesting and realistic to a certain extent. And there were some comic elements thrown in there, so there was a little bit of deviation, but performances were amazing. Jeffrey Tambor, I love that guy. I can't get enough of him. I thought Judith Light, actually, even though she had a very small part in the first episode, did a really great job. There were also just these weird elements. Like, maybe I glanced away for a bit and I didn't really understand the scene, but there was a scene where the son, after having dinner with the parent, making out with some woman that's much older. I didn't really.
He's a closet chubby chaser. So.
Yeah, and so it was just this weird scene because he's also making love to this like really hot twin or something. I don't know.
Some girl in high school.
Yeah, and the one of the daughters who's married and has kids, runs into her ex-lesbian lover that she made, had a relationship with in college, and they start kind of doing a thing. And it's Jan from The Office, and also the other daughter that's sort of a misfit daughter that can't really get her stuff together is what's her name? Gabby Hoffman.
Gabby Hoffman. Yeah.
And what's funny is Gabby Hoffman has this huge list on IMDb of all the stuff she's done. I mean, she's had an amazing career. And as we're watching it, my husband Sean goes, "Oh my God, do you know who that is?" I'm like, and I knew who it was, but I couldn't really put like pull up one of her credits. I'm like, yeah, I think. And he goes, that's the daughter from Volcano.
What out of all the movies?
Of all the stuff she's been in, he's like, that's what he recognized her from.
Oh my god! I thought he would have said like daughter from Field of Dreams.
No, yeah, like the daughter
from Now and Then or something.
He pulled out of his head. It was so
funny.
But yeah, it's just I think it was only half an hour long.
It was a half an hour long.
So it's short, but it's just really well done, and I'm really excited to see the rest of the season.
Yeah, me too. Which is this week, I think, or next week.
Yeah.
No, it is this week. It's Friday.
Yeah, they're gonna release the rest of them.
Oh, I'm excited.
Oh wow, okay. So
Yeah.
I thought they were going to start making the rest of the season. I didn't realize it was already made.
I think they've been.
Yeah, because the pilot aired. The pilot was up in the spring with a bunch of other shows, and this was the one that got the most. And then
Traction.
I think Roman Coppola did a show that got picked up, and then what's his face from The Lost guy did one that wasn't very good. This was the best of them. Yeah.
So what about you, Casey? I mean, did this trip your triggers? Did it fire on all cylinders?
I loved it. Yeah, I mean, when they were doing pilot season, because basically what Amazon does with their pilots, they're doing it now too with another set of pilots, is that they have it up, and then you're supposed to basically rate it and give your feedback on if you'd watch it if it was renewed. Or if it was picked up for a full show. And so this one, I was telling everyone I knew, like, go watch this and go vote, because this is such a great show, and the characters are interesting enough. The characters, to be honest, it reminds me of, like, and it's funny because Jeffrey Tambor's in both shows, it reminds me of a less funny Arrested Development, because you have these really very self-absorbed, narcissistic LA assholes, but they are still compelling enough that I want to know what's going on with them, And I mean, Gabby Hoffman is an easy sell for me. I've loved her forever and ever, and she's great in everything. So I love her. I love Judith Light. I love Amy Linedecker, who plays the other sister, the lesbian, and Jay Duplass, who does the Mumblecore movies with his brother. So I mean, it has such a strong pedigree in the cast that it would be a real disappointment if it was a huge disastrous show, but it's really good, and I'm really surprised at how good Jeffrey Tambor is in it too, because it's unlike anything I've ever seen him do. So,
and he doesn't play it comically; he plays it straight, and he does a great job.
Yeah, I think this is probably Emmy time for him.
Yeah.
I think.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, I finally got the title after the episode ended. I'm like, wait a second, he's a trans parent. Oh, I get it now. I was so proud of myself. And then I'm like, but he's not being transparent with his kids, and I'm like, oh, I get that too.
Oh my God, there's multiple meanings in the title.
All right. Oh my
Double
God.
Rainbow. What does it mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Just like selfie. No, sorry.
Oh God. Yeah, we're gonna review that on our.
So,
anyway.
So I gotta say, I didn't know anything about this show going in. All I knew is that we were talking in our MBP TV chat on Facebook that we should check it out, and I'm like, okay, whatever. So I hadn't seen any trailers for it. I hadn't read anything about it. I literally knew nothing, and then the episode starts playing, and I'm like, I know that guy, and I know that guy, and I know her, and I know her, and then I'm like, holy crap, is that Angela from Who's the Boss? Oh my God, it is. And I have to say, I mean, I wasn't like head over heels about this show, but I do find it very interesting. I will actually keep watching it, I think, and I'll watch the first season. I really like the sort of notion of him being secretly transitioning and having to come out to his family, and I think that's pretty interesting. I really want to see what happens with the Judith Light character, and is that supposed to be her father, I think?
I couldn't tell if that was her new husband or her father.
I wasn't sure. He looks older than she is. Yeah. I don't know. But I kind of had a little bit of a moment when Judith was like, ever since he lost his words, people think he doesn't understand, just talk to him. And then she did, and he was like, my grandpa had Alzheimer's really bad, and he got to a point like that, and I was just having flashbacks to that, and
yeah,
I'm
my
like,
my stepmom had Alzheimer's, and it was exactly that. We had so many of those exact moments where I would talk to my dad, like, talk to her, and I'm like, so I didn't know what to say, and she would sort of like make these motions. So I totally get it. Also.
Yeah, I totally had a moment. I was feeling the feels, guys, feeling the feels. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting because these characters are entirely self-absorbed. You know, the father even comes out and says, "I can't believe I raised children, you know, that are this selfish."
Right.
But it seems like it's that typical like L.A. feel.
It really
is.
It really is.
Yeah, it very much encapsulates.
It's different from New York narcissism, which you can see on girls, but they're similar breeds. But yeah, it's a very LA show, which I think is great because we really don't have that many LA kind of shows like this. Modern Family is the only one I can think of that is very LA, and that is just unwatchable at this point.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Because those characters are unlikable too, but I don't want to watch them. Unlike this show, I want to see what's going on with these people.
Right. Yeah. Right. Well, it was interesting because you know, last year for New Year's, we went out to visit our really good friends Brian and Ron, who live in the LA area, and I take it back. I'd been to LA once before, but just at the airport. I'd never actually like gotten out and seen the city. Yeah, so Brian and Ron drove us around all these different places. We saw the George Michael bathroom where he got arrested.
Fun.
TMZ tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, but it was interesting because as I'm watching this show, I'm like, oh wow, I've seen that place. I know where that's at. Like it was totally like exciting me and reminding me of the trip. So I like how they sort of give you the geographical tour as they go. I'm just interested to see where things go. I'm wondering how the kids are going to react. Obviously, Lesbo kid. I wonder if she's going to be angry with her father for keeping this secret. But then again, she snuck into the house and is getting cunnilingus on his bed. So you know, who knows? I'm really interested to see what's happening with the hot sort of ottery bearded secret closet chubby chaser guy. I hope they explore that. At first, I couldn't tell. Like, was she a big girl? Was she not? But then she like laid back on the couch, and you could really see her body. And she pulled out one of her big boobies, and I'm like,
speaking of boobies, what is it up with all these shows showing all these boobies? I mean, there were at least 3 or 4 sets of boobies on this show, and not a single wiener.
I know. That's still the big taboo in Hollywood. It's film and TV.
Crazy.
I know. Don't they know that there are both men and women who are dying to see some peen at all times?
Yeah. Doesn't have to be hard.
No, I'll never sneeze at a dick. I'll never say, "Oh, take that away, waiter." No.
That's gonna be your tagline. I'll never sneeze at a dick.
I'll never sneeze at a dick.
We need a poster with the caption, "I'll never sneeze at a dick." But yeah, so I like this show. I think like I said, I'll watch the first season. I'll check it out. It has some comedic bits thrown in that I appreciate, but it has some meaty drama stuff too that I find interesting. So I'll keep watching. Are you going to finish it out, Stephen Casey?
Oh, definitely.
I mean, I'm very excited for Friday. I really
I don't think I'll be able to binge watch it because there's some other stuff we're still catching up on, but I will definitely squeeze it in when I can.
Right.
Excellent. Very good. All right. Well, any other thoughts on Transparent?
I guess if there's anyone on the fence, it's interesting because they had Jill Soloway do this show, and Jill Soloway, I think her biggest thing that she's known for is 6 Feet Under. She was really heavily involved with 6 Feet Under, and so Transparent does kind of have that kind of dark humor that 6 Feet Under was known for. And I expect that we're going to have moments on 6 Feet Under that are uncomfortable and emotional too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say kudos. It's great. It's another female showrunner, like Kenji Cohen for Orange is the New Black and a few other people who are making really interesting, progressive, different television, and unfortunately none of it is on network television. So
yeah, well, Shonda Rhimes is an African American female that's going to be on Thursday nights.
Basically, which is pretty amazing. I just wish I wish I was into any of those shows, but
I like
the new one. I'm looking forward to the new one actually. With Viola Davis. I'll watch her in or something. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah.
I don't know the background behind it, but I saw an article on Facebook the other day. I didn't read it, but it was all about how to Get Away with Murder is the most racist TV show.
What?
I don't know
aired yet.
that was the article headline, but I haven't seen the show yet. But I'm interested to check that one out too. But yeah, I'm like, what? How? Yeah. I don't know. Anyway,
that's crazy.
Whatever. Are you guys ready to move on to our plugs for the week?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So, Steven, I'm so sorry I forgot to put your name on the agenda in the plugs.
So no plugs for you.
Yeah, fine.
No.
I had a really good one I was going to share with you, but whatever. That's cool.
No plugs for you, Steven. Sorry.
That's good.
I'm loving the sound effect.
I like this new addition. This new the new cast member to the show this season.
You have to add a board operator to your title there, Brad.
That's right. Yeah. He's our new fourth host. His name is Soundy.
Soundy, I like that.
Thanks, Soundy.
Soundy. That name is money.
Another one. Oh my god.
I know. Okay, so getting away with myself with these sound effects, but yeah. So plugs. I will go first this week. I would just like to give a quick plug. It's still a couple weeks away, but I am so excited, so excited for the premiere of The Flash on CW on October 6th. And the premiere of Arrow the following day on October 7th.
Yes.
My God,
it's going to be
awesome.
Amazing.
Oh, I cannot
I'm very excited.
wait.
I kind of wish they were on the same night, but that's too much awesome for one night.
Yeah.
And
did Tomorrow People get canceled?
Oh,
it did, I think.
Yeah, it got canceled halfway through season 1.
That's right. I forgot.
With that other space teen show or whatever the fuck.
Right.
But Casey Scott, you caught up on Arrow over the summer, right? Did I read that?
I caught up on most of Arrow, and it's one of those things that I'm halfway through the first season, and I love it. I just need to finish it, and then the second season just got added too. So I can catch up by. It's October 8th, by the way, is Arrow.
Okay.
And October 7th is The Flash.
Oh, did I get my dates mixed up? Oops.
Just a little bit. The originals is October 6th, if you want to watch that.
That's right. Well, who cares about that?
Okay.
So 7th and 8th, absolutely.
Yeah. That's exciting.
I think that's going to be awesome. Steven, I know you are excited.
Oh my God, I can. I like that is going to be like. No one talked to me those 2 nights. I'm just watching TV. Leave me alone. This is going to be awesome. I need to be by myself.
And that's on a Monday or it's a Tuesday and a Wednesday.
Tuesday and Wednesday.
So that's good. It's not when we're recording. That's good.
Exactly. Although Tuesday night is Movie Bears podcast night, so I'll have to record the show and then watch it right after. It's okay. Then I can fast.
I won't live tweet.
There you go.
No live tweeting for you.
I can flash forward through the
commercial. Wow.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
I don't know if we can forgive you for that one.
That was rough.
I know. Anyway, Casey, what have you got for plugs this week?
This is a tough one because there's a lot of shows that are starting in the next couple weeks, and I can't honestly say that I want to plug any of them. I'm mildly excited, but I don't want a plug or recommendation to bite me in the ass when it turns out to be terrible. So I would say that if you have some downtime, go to Comedy Central's website, and if you haven't watched it already, watch the best show of the year, which is Broad City, which was on it was an early spring, late summer show. It was on April through June, I think. Great show. You can watch it all on Comedy Central's website. It's 10 episodes. It's brief. Funniest show of the year. I love it. It has the best pair of friends on TV right now. Really good show. That's my plug.
And plus, he has that hot cub that you like.
Oh, John Gemberling, yes, John Gemberling, who actually, I added him on Facebook and wasn't sure if he remembered that I mildly sexually harassed him on Twitter. he either didn't remember or he remembered and approved and accepted my friend request.
Nice.
But he's actually going to be on the new show Marry Me with Casey Wilson and oh gosh, I forget what the other guy's name is. But he's going to be on 2 shows now, which I'm excited about because the more furry, chubby guys on TV, hopefully with their shirts off, the better. Yeah.
I'm so right there with you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. What about you, Steven?
My plug this week, and I agree with Casey, it's hard to plug future shows if you don't know exactly what they are unless they're returning. But my plug this week is for something that I think we've plugged. I think Casey plugged it way back in our previous episodes, but I finally caught up on over the summer and have absolutely fallen in love with, which is House of Cards.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
Hands down, one of the most unbelievable shows I've ever watched. It is so well done, so well acted, so well written, so well... It is movie quality in every episode, and it is just phenomenal. And, we just started season 2, and like, holy shit!
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, oh my god.
Good. Yeah.
We just saw like the first episode of season 2, and we're like, what the fuck? Like,
I know. It's kind of like, okay, where do we go from here?
Yeah, it's just amazing, and just. I can't recommend that show enough. It was one of those shows I think that even though people were recommending it, I'm like, it's a serious drama, it's political, it's going to be a lot of thinking and everything. But it's even if you just sort of glaze over and don't really pay attention to exactly what's being said, they have such great rhythm and tone in the scenes that you can follow along with what's going on, even if you don't fully understand what's going on. I don't know if that makes sense, but there were several times. What did they say? What does that mean? We're like, just keep watching, and and it made sense. And also, the conceit of breaking the fourth wall and having Kevin Spacey talk to you every once in a while. I think when they know it's a little bit too complex, he'll talk to you and go and it kind of explain what's going on.
Right.
It's a great little
Plus,
trick.
I just love the way he says Zoe Bob.
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey. That's actually a show that I watch. I mean, I watch most shows with closed captions or subtitles on just because I like it. But that's a show that I definitely recommend you watch with the subtitles on, because it helps a little bit with following stuff, but it also makes it feel like you're reading this great epic novel.
Yeah.
It kind of makes it feel more epic in scope.
Yeah, but I can't recommend it enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love the addition of Major Dad.
Yes. As soon as I saw him, like, is that Major Dad?
Yeah, I love him, and I love Robin Wright on the show. She's so good.
She's one of her best roles I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I agree. It's such good stuff. So, good plug. Love it. Well, before we wrap, I actually had one more thought I want to circle back to for Transparent, if you guys are okay with that.
Yeah, let's go back.
The music choices on that show were awesome. Jim Croce, Operator.
Yes.
I love that song.
Yeah.
And I liked the little pasty teen glitterish band version.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Right.
Yeah, I thought that was neat. So I mention it only so that we can get away with 25 seconds of fair use of the song for our intro this week. So I had to say
nice.
Oh, very clever.
That's perfect.
Clever girl.
And now you just reminded me that I need to go buy that song on iTunes. You just reminded me. Because I was gonna buy it after hearing it in the show, and then I completely forgot it. So now I'm
it's such a great song.
It really is. Yeah, me too.
Totes my goats. All right. Well, guys, we are back for the fall season. This has been awesome hanging out with you.
Absolutely.
And,
can't wait to do it again.
I know, right? We have so many shows that are coming back. Walking Dead is coming back. Arrow, all this stuff.
Survivor.
Survivor. I'm so pumped to be doing this with you guys again.
Yeah.
So thanks for hanging out tonight. Listeners, thank you for coming back and joining us. We had some of you who were lurking live, did not comment. So, lurkers.
It's like Walking Dead, lurking live.
That's right. That's right. Plus, there was a little alliteration there. I'm an alliteration whore.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know.
Mm-hmm. I forgot we have American Horror Story to look forward to as well.
Yeah,
this actually looks like it could be good.
Yeah, I'm mildly intrigued. I think I'm gonna. Yeah. I'm kind of excited. Yeah.
Do you buy that it's Jessica Lange's last season, or do you think
I
she'll,
hope to God that it is her last season.
Yeah.
I'm over it. I'm like, okay, Jessica Lange, go back and to do whatever the hell you were doing before American Horror Story. Nothing. Yeah.
Oh boy.
We need a new.
Back to obscurity.
Yeah, we need a new king, queen, bitch on that show.
Yeah.
Somebody else needs to come back. Honestly.
Angela Bassett.
I think I'd love her too. I need
see enough
somebody
of
new.
her. Yeah.
You know what? I would love it if they could get Gillian Anderson or something.
Ooh,
oh, that could be interesting. Wow.
I mean, I love her. I'm trying to think of other famous.
You should tweet Ryan Murphy right now and be like,
yeah.
She doesn't have enough gay cachet with him. I don't think that he would even consider her. Unfortunately. Chaz Bono probably would. Get Chaz Bono as a villain or something.
That could be interesting. he could be the bearded lady.
Oh, that would actually be perfect.
Was that bad?
I know.
That's really bad. Oh my lord. Shame on you.
I'm horrible. I'm going to hell.
Oh, no.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us, guys. We will see you all next week. Take care.
Bye, guys.